this next level question, because I do think that this is part of where the rubber hits the road for many people, of this tension between the incremental change and the revolutionary change.
Yeah,
The tension
absolutely.
between the we have to work the system and come on the inside versus this is inherently not equitable, right? Or people think about even just financing and campaign, and how their leadership feels like there's more beholden to those who have the dollars, but those who don't have the dollars are the citizenry.
Yeah.
How what does that tension look like for you? Because I think what you've been speaking to has been somewhat of the tension and the paradox of it and navigating it. But have there ever just been moments when you're just like, I'm tired. I know politically this is what I need to do this thing, but this just seems so wrong, and I'm tired. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, man, these are great questions. Yeah, I think that has always been a challenge, right?
mm,
And I think I frame it within a couple of contexts. Number one, I think about, and again, this is specific to Atlanta and part of what has made me who I am and my political experience. If you look at, what the great civil rights leaders, whether it's Ambassador Andrew Young,
mm-hmm,
whether
mm-hmm,
it's Congressman John Lewis, the late congressman, whether it's even Vernon Jordan, my
God bless him.
recently deceased Omega brother, who grew up in Georgia, and all of these people, Reverend Dr. Joseph Lowry, like they made progress, and even with Martin Luther King, right? They made progress through incremental change, right? And there were instances where they stood up and where they demonstrated and where they took a stand, but they knew that um, a steady, measured perspective in the long run would help um, uh, break down barriers, right? And so there's that inherent tension between that and the younger mindset, right, if you will, who haven't necessarily had the opportunity to or weren't around to be able to experience that incremental change, and all they've known is life the way it really is now, right? But they're seeing some of these injustices play out, and so the first bucket is that historical civil rights perspective that has kind of been passed down from generation even to my old boss, Mayor Kasim Reed, and now to with you see it with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. The second perspective I have is what was framed by President Barack Obama, right? So if you read his most recent book, or if you read many of his readings or kind of study him, he always has kind of like a holistic view on the progress of change, and that while we may be moving forward, change is not promised, right? You can move backward, and so you have to be persistent in these things, even though, as previously as we were talking about, maybe as you're going through some of the policy decisions that are made and you're not really um, agreeing with them, or you strongly disagree with them, right? You always have to kind of view the political space through that lens.
mm,
But so that's kind of like, those are the two kind of buckets. But then I do think that people like me, who are relatively young on this spectrum, but not young compared to Gen Z and a lot of the
yeah.
Black Lives Matter activists and things, we can learn a lot from them, right?
Mm,
In terms of the importance of now, and listening to, and taking advantage of the window
mm.
where you see the opportunity for change